You know, it's surprising that I haven't covered The Witcher in detail before. A world full of monsters, magic and mayhem? It's perfect for an obsessive overthinker like me. But what should I overanalyze today? Geralt's silver sword? Nah, I've already done that. Ah, here we go. Let's take a trip into Geralt's medicine cabinet. Hello everybody and welcome back to The Science Of, the show where I take a look at the science behind your favourite game shows and more. Today, we're taking a look at the science behind Geralt of Rivia and the magical land of The Witcher, diving into the different potions and poisons the witchers use to fight monsters throughout the continent. Throughout the Witcher series, you can collect a wide variety of plants and monster parts, which you can then brew into a wide range of oils, potions, and even some special healing medicines made only for witchers. Keep watching as I cover the surprising similarities between these medicinal flowers used in Witcher potions and their real-world counterparts. Perfect! All the ingredients you collect throughout the games can be used in Witcher alchemy. These ingredients range from real-world flowers like celandine and buckthorn to grim and slimy ingredients taken from monsters encountered like drowner brains or even someone's ear. All of these and more can be used to help Geralt as he fights his way through political machinations and monstrous madness. To make a potion, you mix it all up with some good old dwarven booze or perhaps a sweet cherry cordial to match the taste. But how do these Witcher potions compare to ancient apothecaries or modern day medicines? Let's find out! Witcher potions provide Geralt with a wide variety of benefits, ranging from Cant, which improves Geralt's reflexes and reaction time, fitting given its name, to Kiss, which increases Geralt's resistance to bleeding. Actually, out of all of Geralt's potions, Kiss is surprisingly the closest we have to a pretty advanced medicine. Well, as advanced as the 1960s could be. The effect of Kiss is similar to tranexamic acid, a medicine that's used to reduce bleeding from surgical wounds. However, Kiss is way more effective than the TXA, with TXA taking as long as 24 hours to reach peak effectiveness, whereas Kiss only lasts 8 in-game hours. But not all potions are going to be as useful as Kiss. In fact, pretty much all of the potions that Geralt can concoct in The Witcher are pretty damaging, with each potion having its own level of toxicity. But I'm not sure what you'd expect really. You're mixing raw meat with flowers and swilling the whole thing down with some booze. It's a pretty rough cocktail. But we'll be investigating the toxicity of these Witcher potions a little bit later on. But, did you know? Geralt doesn't only heal by eating and drinking strange potions. He can also heal using the Quen sign, which not only produces a luminous shield, but will also slowly refill Geralt's health. Whilst there aren't any powers in the real world that can give you a luminous translucent shield, there have historically been signs associated with healing. The Vikings had all sorts of symbols with different applications, and these are most similar to the runes and signs we see throughout the Witcher games. This sign, Birkenau, is a sign that's used to denote healing, but it was also believed by the Vikings to hold the power to invoke healing. This means that ancient Norse people would inscribe the runes on talismans, amulets, or directly onto the bodies as a part of healing rituals. This is very similar to the glyph stones seen throughout The Witcher, and seeing as we have Vikings in the Skellige Islands, it's not a stretch to say it's a similar idea. Now let's get back to our healing herbs. The idea of using different plants and other organic materials in medicine, rather than synthetic ones, is more common than you might expect. Even today, around 11% of drugs considered basic by the World Health Organization got their origins in flowering plants. Even before there was a written language, we have evidence of ancient civilizations using concoctions of seeds, herbs, leaves, fruits, and different barks to treat all kinds of sicknesses. Plants are an abundant source for potential medicines, and will often act as chemical templates for new synthetic drugs, used to treat all manner of illnesses. So the only question is, do these Witcher potions have any medicinal properties, or are they about as useful as a dock leaf for curing nettle stings? Thankfully, the Witcher series is really transparent about the plants it uses. It fills its potions with real varieties of herbs and flowers, so by all accounts, it shouldn't be difficult to see if any of these are more than just a placebo. Swallow is the most common healing potion in the games. It increases the rate that Geralt heals, and in The Witcher 3, you could craft Swallow by mixing dwarven spirits with celandine flowers and a drowner brain. So for this potion, we're naturally going to ignore the monstrous drowner brain, and focus more on the celandine flowers. Do these have any positive active ingredients for medicine? Well, the juice of the greater celandine herb has been used in folk medicine for years, but this doesn't exactly bode well if Geralt has an arrow in his shoulder. Celandine does have some positive medical qualities. For example, it has been used to treat different warts and bowel disorders, but its medically valuable components, all of which have very long and tongue-twisting names, aren't linked to any significant healing. Okay, fair's fair. Apparently Swallow just isn't going to be healing any sword swipes or archery arrow abrasions. But interestingly, similar to Geralt's other potions in The Witcher, it's been found that some medication, including Greater Selendine, is hepatotoxic. This means that it causes acute or chronic injury to the liver. Back in medieval Europe, this would definitely be enough to kill Geralt. Okay, so it's pretty obvious that Geralt isn't going to be able to heal himself with Swallow, but at least his other potions won't be doing any serious harm to him, right? Well, in-game, whilst Witcher potions are definitely effective, able to cure Geralt of all kinds of slashes and blunt force traumas, they definitely aren't perfect. These potions are pretty toxic, and if Geralt drinks enough of them, he'll die on the spot. Not great all things considered, but when you're putting brains, ears and other slimes into bottles, I'm not really sure what you'd expect. But never you worry, as there's an added substance called Abido that you can add to any potion to reduce its toxicity. Now this Witcher cure-all is made up of some pretty weird ingredients, including allspice and a crow's eye, so we might want to avoid looking too deep into that. But when it comes to curing toxicity completely, all Geralt has to do is brew up a potion called White Honey. This is a pretty remarkable potion, made by combining dwarven spirits and honeysuckle. According to in-game notes, this miraculous potion is able to cure the body of toxic effects of certain potions. It does this by stimulating the production of purifying enzymes that free the body of the toxicity. But when we talk about detoxification of the body, we need to discuss the liver. The liver has many crucial responsibilities and functions within the human body. These range from breaking down useful chemicals like proteins and fats for storage, to breaking down toxic substances for removal from the body. The liver does this in two stages, the first involving a group of enzymes called cytochromes, P450s. These neutralise harmful substances, and then the other step neutralises any byproducts released by dealing with the first lot. This involves the liver releasing molecules which bind to toxins, making them water soluble and safe to release from the body. But could honeysuckle help the liver out? How can such a small plant help the liver deal with toxicity? Well, pretty surprisingly, studies have found that getting honeysuckle, banging it in a pot and brewing it into a nice cup of tea, and then serving that tea to rats, does have a positive effect on chemical injuries to the liver. But rather unsurprisingly, Geralt isn't a rat. So you can't exactly say that Geralt should drink a cup of honeysuckle tea to get over poisoning himself. But it's still pretty promising. It could lessen the damage caused by the toxins to the liver, even if it doesn't help the liver to process them. And honeysuckle could provide even more medical advantages. It has as many as 80 active components, with over 40 of these active components being absorbed into the bloodstream. These include luteolin, which, thanks to its many anti-inflammatory properties, could make for a pretty effective treatment for many conditions, including hypertension, inflammatory diseases, and even cancers. So these plants definitely have some kind of medical value, hooray! But why don't we use them? Well, we kind of do. Medicines derived from plants generally have to go through years and years of rigorous testing before they're approved for prescription, testing for safety as well as effectiveness. The first medicine to be extracted from plant life is still heavily used today, and it's morphine derived from the poppy plant, a painkiller that's used around the world. A very rough version of morphine originated in ancient Europe, with the ancient Greeks using poppy flower extracts as a painkiller, with the Greek philosopher Theophrastus using poppy extract before surgery as far back as the 3rd century BC. But this was poppy extract in its rawest form. Morphine, at least as we know it today, was first extracted from poppy plants back in the 1810s. Nowadays, new medicines are usually designed by chemists and biologists using computer models. But even then, they'll often look at how nature fights infections for inspiration. There's still a place for these little green cure-alls in medicine. So Witcher potions aren't the fantastical cure-all you might imagine. Slamming a daisy into a bottle of vodka isn't going to cure the cold that's going around during this winter. However, with enough time and development, you could get a pretty good antiviral. If you want to see me talk more about the science from this fantastical series, then comment down below telling me what your favourite part of The Witcher is. It could be a potion, a monster, even a weapon that Geralt uses. Either way, tell me in the comments down below, and the best will appear at the end of the next video. If you can't wait till then take a look at this short that I created, taking a look at the science behind why Geralt uses a silver sword. The reason might not be what you expect, But until next time, this has been the Science of the Witcher. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so I can keep investigating the science behind your favourite game shows and more.